I mean, there's a lot of things that are basically unknown or misrepresented or and stuff like that. Like for instance, my aluminum buses. I mean, I have the world's largest supply of aluminum, basically, and so, like I said, I built aircraft like the Flying Fortress, the P-51 Mustang. Like most people don't understand that P-51 stands for Pleasure 51, and P-38 stands for Pleasure 38, basically. Um, they're a pleasure craft, and that's why they were so nice. Leather seats, leather everything. Um, you know, really clear, really expensive. Like I said, the glass on the P-51, or it's not glass, it's actually plastic. The plastic on the P-51 bubble top was like a $1,500 cost back in like 1950 or 1940. Those bubble tops were very expensive and were very nice, and they were meant so basically people could actually see the world around them and basically be able to fly. They were also very good for dogfighting too and stuff like that, or aerobatics and flying and stuff like that. It was one of my pride and joys and my best aircraft that I loved very 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 much. Anyway, it was a very good, very sleek, very nice aircraft that was built around my very expensive piston engine. A lot of people didn't like the piston engines. The, a lot of people like the air-cooled engines better, but I personally preferred the um, the uh, the piston engines, which inline piston engines. It balanced the fuel supply and everything else like that. And like I said, most people didn't even know that the P-51 has 3 or 4 fuel tanks, all put inside of its fuselage. 2 in the wings and then 2 in the back. Or at least they did. Anyway, depending on anyway, I had it. Basically, it was a giant fuel tank, pretty much, with wings. It wasn't really meant to be a fighter aircraft, really, per se. So anyway, like I said, no one really knew who named the P-51 or the P-38 Lightning. And the lightning has to do with white lightning, or the fuel it used, which was basically a concoction of pretty much alcohol and some other things, basically, that gave it really high performance. It was a tuned up. The lightnings had superchargers or turbochargers on them, basically. Anyway, though, I don't really care. It was my aircraft, just like my aluminum buses. All aluminum buses. The problem with aluminum at first is that it was too soft. Aluminum in the old days was really soft. You could almost just bend it with your hands, pretty much. It had no strength at all, really, and needed some other stuff mixed into it to actually make it what it is today, aircraft aluminum. So anyway, though, it's all complicated. I mean, aluminum in its pure state is basically much like lead. So anyway, there's lots of things that most people didn't know and what most people wouldn't admit. And basically, pretty much who Lucifer Star was, who I was, and everything else like that. And though you may try and deny me, or you may say things like blah, 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 you can't deny my products, which are basically the P-51s, the P-38s, and pretty much other things. So anyway, lots of annoying people would unite and be around me and stuff like that. But, I mean, it didn't really, the job still got done, like I say. The galaxy still got built. The Earth was still a very nice place. And though Rodney and a bunch of other people basically would be annoying and deny me and even say, cast me out, cast Lucifer Star out. Like I said, the funny thing was that no one knew what he was talking about at the time. Only he probably knew. He had somehow come across my name of Lucifer Star, or Lucifer. So anyway, though, like I said, I had 2 books, Bible, and another thing, a book with my name on it, because, well, I wanted to be known, except they always spell a name wrong, with a C. Rodney and Rosalie and other people wanted it spelled with a C, because that's the proper way, don't you know? Well, I can spell it any way I want. I spell it with an S. Anyway, though, lots of people would say Hitler built all the aluminum buses, or Hitler did this, or Hitler did that. Actually, the aluminum cars were built in Africa, and Africans used some lightweight aluminum cars to do attacks or something like that. I don't really know exactly. Anyway, air-cooled engines suck. They've always sucked. Even with oil coolers, they always overheat. They have a tendency to overheat. I never really liked the air-cooled engine, and nor did I like the two-stroke engine. Even though I invented the air-cooled engine and the two-stroke engine, I never liked them. Like I said, I liked my four-stroke, inlines or V8 engines basically the best. And I liked my diesel engines very, very much, producing adequate amount of power and performance. Like I said, fuel tends to combust too easily. You can't get real power out of an engine with a fuel mixture already being in there. So you realistically need to put the fuel in at the point that you want it, which is exactly what the diesel engine does. So anyway, it was more a matter of making them quieter. Like I said, and getting them to pop. Getting that pop at the end, that trigger. Like I was trying to design it myself, and I tried to design it myself, and I got pretty good, but I couldn't figure out. The best idea was basically a spring that would get overloaded at a certain point and basically allow the fuel to go through. But I couldn't get it to pop exactly. That needed a little bit more effort. And like I said, I was designing it in my head, basically. Everybody else lots of people would be like, like, who do you think designed the diesel engine? Phileas Fogg? Sir Rodinger of Birmingham? Maybe the Berenger of Sicily? Or Sir Foggius Limb. Basically, you have no idea, do you? Do you have any idea who designed anything in this world? Who designed the Titanic? Harlem and Wolff? A black group from literally Harlem City and New Orleans, basically? Who basically scrapped out my steel yard? Or my shipyard? Pretty much, when the blacks tried to take over Birmingham. Or not Birmingham, I mean Belfast. I mean, and started graffitiing the place and destroying it, basically. And pretty much tried to melt down and steal every single lamppost, bedpost, and just about anything that wasn't nailed down in basically in Belfast. Stripped all the gold, minted it into coins as much as they could, or whatever. I don't really know what Papa's group did. Bunch of black people that are hanging around Belfast. I'm not racist. It actually happened. That's why happened to Belfast. They stripped everything. They stole. They took every bit of metal and whatever else they could possibly get. Anyway, whatever. Like I say, I don't care. Some Irish people and some German people found themselves in a firefight against some black people because they were trying to strip down the town and destroy it. Like there wasn't going to be steel left in the town by the time they were through with it. I mean, I used to have like silver lampposts. There used to be songs about silver lampposts, golden whatevers. Like I had a few cities that were epic. They had real silver in the lampposts and real gold fixtures. Not anymore. Oh well. Gone. Spent, frivoled away. Oh well. That's what happens when you take over a town and melt down everything for coins and then basically spend them faster. Gone. And they're just pretty to look at anyway. So anyway, like I said, Papa spent his entire life with this black guy. Basically, you know him because he walked with a silver cane and pointed tip around, and he would go around slapping girls around Hollywood and Belfast and also Warsaw. He got kicked out of Warsaw. He got kicked out of 3 or 4 different towns. Nobody wanted him around because he would go up to a girl and he would slap them like that. Be like, "Let me tell you, girl." Anyways, this really, really nasty old man. Black guy used to walk with the furs on him and stuff like that. Be like, "I got your silver right here." Gave silver to all his black people to sell. He was this nasty old person that would walk around and slap girls. Racist? No, 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 no. No, Papa was racist and crazy. I'm sure he met Madonna at some point in time. Papa don't tell no secrets, or Papa don't preach. Anyway, apparently a lot of people met him.